Well, right behind me, I've got the 2025 Ford F-150 STX. If you guys are new to the channel, my name is Jason and I do reviews here in Canada, so car reviews just like this. If you love car reviews, be sure to like this video and also subscribe to the channel. And also thank you to Mayfield Ford for allowing me to review this STX. So in today's video, I'm going to be going over the different models that you can get with the Ford F-150s, the safety features that you get with this STX model, the exterior, the interior, the infotainment system, and of course the pricing. And I'll put the window sticker up for this particular truck here because it does have some things that are added to it, like the 200A package, which gives you the bigger wheels, zone lighting, and the LED fog lights. And also you'll notice while I walk around the vehicle, there will be blacked out pieces, the black wheels, black running boards, and that's because this has the STX black appearance package. All right, so in terms of the different models that you can get with the Ford F-150s, there are a bunch of them and you can get them in different box sizes, styles, and whatnot. So you can pick from the XL, STX, XLT, Tremor, Lariat, King Ranch, Platinum, and the Raptor. And in terms of the styles, you have three to pick from. So you've got the regular, Super Cab, and the Super Crew. This is the Super Crew that you're looking at right now. And you can pick from three different box sizes. Now in terms of the safety features that you get with this model here, this will include things like the Bliss with cross traffic alert and trailer tow coverage, SOS post-crash alert system, post-collision braking, lane keeping system, forward collision warning, pre-collision assist with automatic emergency braking. All right, now in terms of what powers this truck here, this does have the 2.7 liter EcoBoost V6 engine, and this is going to give you 325 horsepower and 400 pound-foot of torque. And towing wise, with this particular model here and the way that this is spec'd, you can tow about 7,500 pounds. And in terms of fuel economy, you're looking at about 12.8 liters per 100 kilometers in the city and about 10 liters per 100 kilometers on the highway. All right, well, let's start off in the front of this truck. And I like how this is in white and you've got all of these black bits and pieces that do stand out. So over on your bumper here, you do have the body color bumper. However, the middle, you do have the black plastic. And also up here, you do have the front recovery hooks, and behind the license plate area you do have some open area, and even like down here. And then like I was mentioning, this does have the LED fog lights, of course, and that also has more of the black plastic that surrounds it. And then you move into this very nice looking grille. Now this is not gloss or anything, however all around it is gloss, which I'm going to show you. But in the middle here you do have these nice openings, and even if you look closely, it has the nice little designing on those. So a nice little touch there, which does stand out. And now this area here, so this bar, which goes all the way around the whole front, is in gloss black, so that does stand out. And then you have the blacked out Ford badge in the center. And then you move into these very unique and very nice and sharp looking lights here on this truck. I do like the amber light, how it's just there in the center and it breaks everything up, so that's a unique little touch. And even on the side here, you have your reflector. All right, now coming to the side of this STX, you've got the typical F-150 looks. Now this one doesn't have like a sunroof or anything like that. Now, if you look on the sides here around the windows, it's all just typical black trimming, no gloss, nothing like that. And even your door handles are in the flat black, so no body color, anything like that. And even the side mirrors are in flat black. Typically you have like this area in gloss black or body color, but all of this is the same material. And then over on the fender, you've got another black piece here, but you do have the F-150 in gloss black, and you've got the STX lettering right there. And then like I was mentioning, this has the side steps that come with the STX black appearance package, so you have those there. And then you move into these very nice, very unique looking wheels. Now these are the upgraded wheels like I was mentioning, and since they are blacked out, it is a part of that same package. And I love the nice subtle like matte finish on this because it just complements the whole vehicle. And these are your 20-inch wheels, so if I do take a step back, you can see the color and the size of the wheels definitely fit nice on this truck. Now this is something very, very small, but even on the windshield here at the very, very top, you've got this Ford decal, badging, whatever you want to call it, up top as well. And you'll also notice on the back of the bed here, you do have this 4x4 decaling. And speaking of the bed, this is your standard size, so that's what that looks like. All right, now coming around to the rear of the truck, you still got the nice looks, of course, and just like the front as well, the bumper back here is in body color, and then you've got the top section in the black plastic, so if you do want to step on that, use it for a work truck, your bumper is not going to get scratched up. Also, you've got the hitch right there in the center with all of your plugs and whatnot by the license plate area. And back here, you do have your safety sensors that run across. Now over on the tailgate here, you have another blacked out Ford badge and then this massive F-150 lettering that's etched in to the tailgate. Moving over to the lights, I do like the designing on these because it just looks very, very sharp. And if you look closely, you've got like the black housing and then the rest of the lights and more of the black housing right there. So definitely a nice little touch. Now up here by your tailgate handle, you just have your rear camera. Now when you do open up the tailgate here, this isn't like a soft opening because it just drops down on you. And back here, another thing that this truck has is the spray and bed liner, and this is always my favorite thing to have on any truck, so you're not scratching up any of the things back here. Also back here, you will notice all of the hooks all on the corners there, and you don't have any bed lighting, but you do have this space right here. So when you do open it, it's like a little cubby storage spot. And you even have the same one on this side. So on both the sides, you have little hidden compartments, which is pretty nice. Now over on the rear glass, you just have that massive piece. No rear sliding window or anything like that. All right, let's head inside and take a look at what we have going on with the interior trim. It's an all black interior, but there are some pieces actually that do stand out. So down here, you do have the usual F-150 space down here, so a ton of room. You've got a water bottle spot right here. And I do like how this trim, which is in plastic, is like all plain. But then you have this plastic trim that does have this unique designing and texture, so it definitely stands apart. And then you've got your speaker right here and some more room in the middle of the door here. And then moving up by your armrest area, you've got some vinyl trimming here with the contrast stitching. And then this trim even has a nice contrast to it, so it definitely breaks up the black. And up here you have another cup holder spot, or you can just use it as storage. And then this whole section is exactly like the one down here. Instead, you have this whole panel in this very cool looking trimming. I'm not sure if the camera's actually picking it up, but I like this way better than it being plain. All right, now heading inside and taking a look at the seats, you do have the cloth seating in this, of course. However, even though this is cloth seating, you do have the nice little designs on this that stand out. Like for instance, you've got this neon contrast stitching. You've got these lines here that definitely pop out as soon as you open the door. So I do love that about the seats. So they're not just plain cloth seats, they do have some life to it. Now, typically in the middle here, you would have like a drop down section and that would bring out your cup holders, but nothing on this. But like any other F-150, you can lift up the seats and then you have all of this room here. So if you are using this for work and maybe even going on family trips, if you just put up the other seat, you have a ton of room down here. Now, just for the sake of the video, I'm gonna jump in here and kind of show you the legroom and the headroom. Now, this is an F-150, so you're gonna have a ton of space. All right, as you hop in, you can see I have tons and tons of space. However, this seat is up a little bit, so even if I move it back, you can see I'm very happy with the space I have. Now, as for your headroom, same thing, lots and lots of room, very, very high, and I love that. There's no restriction. It's an F-150 at the end of the day, so space shouldn't be a problem. Now, behind the driver and passenger seats, I also like how more of the cloth trimming continues back here. There's no plastic or anything like that. And then you have a storage area behind the seat and on that side as well. All right, now on the rear console area here are your cup holders with the chrome trimming here. You've got the rear vents, the outlet here, and then USB ports down there. Let's check out the front and see if anything else is different compared to the rear. Now down here, you do have a bit more storage space and everything else is pretty much the same, other than your typical window controls and side mirror controls. Now for the front seats, these are exactly like the rear seats. I just love these little bits and pieces of detail that this seat has. Like all this, the neon stitching definitely in this nice green color, like lime green color, it pops out right at you. Also, this being an STX, there are no heated seats in the front, and even for your power seats, it is all manual. Underneath, just your foot pedals, nothing too fancy. And then over here, you have your hood latch release. Moving up is your electronic parking brake. Here is your light for the bed at the top, and then all of your lighting controls here, and then the cluster dimmer here. And then your auto start stop. Now moving into like this venting area, this unique gloss granite trimming, whatever you want to call it, this is very cool because it stretches across the whole dashboard. And you've also got this American flag right there. As for your steering wheel, this is manual adjustable. And as you make your way inside of this STX, you have hard material all on your dashboard. However, the same trimming you saw on the doors, you have it right here. And then you've got a little speaker there in the corner, and then on that side as well. Now when you do open the door, you do have this nice animation in the cluster area, which is pretty neat. And even when you start up the vehicle, you've got the built for tough animation. And then turning off the vehicle, you've got this nice cool animation that plays as well. And then when you open the door, you're gonna have an animation that plays here. So once that closes, you have the nice Ford animation. All right, and then you get into this very nice, very crisp and sharp looking 12-inch fully digital cluster. I just love all of the details on this. And obviously you can see a bunch of different information about your truck, and all of that is controlled through here. So if I just press the down button here, you can see it's going through all sorts of different information. However, you can also press the menu and you can have all of these menus that pop up. So a bunch of things that you can have at your fingertips. As for the steering wheel, now this is not in leather obviously or vinyl. You have like this very hard material, but if you press hard enough, it is soft material in a way, but pretty interesting to see on this. And then you've got more of like this black rough trimming with this unique trimming right here in the center, and another blacked out Ford badge. On the left side here, you have all of your cruise control settings, your lane keep, volume controls, Bluetooth, and then over here are the cluster controls, phone controls, and then the seat controls. If you look on the left side behind here, you have your high beams, wipers, and indicators. And this one has this type of a shifter, which typically you would see in like a diesel vehicle, but you have it in this. Now over on the center armrest area here, you do have the vinyl trimming with the contrast stitching. And opening this up, you do have this tray which you can utilize and you can pop out as well. And then you have a bunch more room in here. Also up here, you have a lock which locks the center console. So if you do want to hide your valuables, you can definitely lock it. Before I jump into the actual center console, I just want to point out these two things here. You have this unique black trimming on the side here, which is very smooth, and then the storage compartment on the side, and you'll notice this on the passenger side as well. And then you move into your center console area. It looks so much cleaner with no shifter being here. So you have this massive space, and then this area here, maybe you can put your phone, wallet, credit cards or something, and then your front cup holders. You've also got this space up here as well, and some USB ports. Now moving up here, I want to start over on this side. You have this area here, maybe to put your coins or whatever, all of your different drive modes, your 4x4 controls, and then you have all of these controls here. So you have your heating and cooling temperature controls at the bottom, and then the top section here is pretty much for your touchscreen and your cameras, which I'm going to touch on in just a second. Over here, you have a 12-volt outlet and then more USB ports. And then right below the screen is more of that nice shiny trim, which does stretch all the way across. So let me show you the cameras on this. If I just press the camera button, all you're gonna see is the rear view camera. That's pretty much it. And then you get into your beautiful 12-inch touchscreen. And I like how it has the main section here, and then you have a smaller section to the right, so you can definitely utilize both of them. So on the first section under audio, here you're gonna have your different sources like your AM, FM, Bluetooth, and all of that good stuff. Next is your phone section, once you do have your phone configured to the vehicle. Next is your favorite section, so you can switch these around, edit them how you want, so you have easier access. Now under apps, you will find your Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Then under your settings is more things about the vehicle, which you can further fine tune, and there are 2 pages of that. And then finally is your features section. Here are all of your driver assistance settings, which you can control through here, turn them on, off, whatever you want is all done through here. Let me just go back, and then you've got your zone lighting here. Let's override that. So you have the front and rear zone lighting. Now you can turn it all on at once, or just the front or the rear. You've also got the towing section here. So you got a connection checklist, add a trailer, and then a bunch of different trailer settings. And then you just got your owner's manual. Now moving over to the small screen here, if I just click this, here you can see I can flick through just a bunch of different things, and I have my main screen as well. Now you also notice on top of the dashboard here, you have this area which is pretty much open storage space, so you can put your phone, wallet, or small little items there. And then up top here, you just got your rear view mirror. And then moving further up, you have a spot for your sunglasses. and then all of your interior lights and whatnot. And here is the key fob for this truck. You've got the Ford badge on the rear. Now this is not a typical key because you still got the old school key fob. All right, let's come around to the passenger side here. And like I was showing you on the driver's side, you've got more space over here. Now, as for the dashboard, typically on other F-150 models, you would have this closed off and you can open it by pressing the button. But this is open and you can definitely utilize this as well, especially if you're charging a phone or something. You can just place it in here. And then you just got your typical glove compartment space. And here is the window sticker for this STX. The pricing that you see is in Canadian dollars, and this may be minus any discounts if available. Well, that does it for the review on this 2025 Ford F-150 STX. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of this truck.